trying to figure it out has you at war with your desire and with yourself. My name is Mr. 2020. We've got an awesome solution for this. I just can't figure it out, like what I want, how it'll happen, all that stuff. We've got a really awesome solution for you today on the Power of Imagination podcast. If you get gold from this, I've got 3 favors to ask. Boy, these are huge. Number 1, share it. Sharing is caring. If you're getting gold from our goodies, someone else will too. And would you deprive another human being of oxygen, of life, of love? Share the show. Number 2, feel free to dive deeper. We've got lots of ways you can do that at NevilleGoddardStore.com. Again, a podcast is a podcast is a podcast. We put together these things called programs. They're different than podcasts. And we've got all kind of ways to play. More on that in a bit. And the third bit, apply wildly. Doesn't do any good just to listen. An answer is an answer is an answer. Experience changes your experience. So let's dive in. This is from a comment in a post. Gabe, I love that you posted this. This is going to give to a lot of people. Ready? I'm so tired of trying to figure it out. I just know my God self knows better and will reveal the right choice if I focus on the other stuff instead. Here's the cool thing. Ready? There is no higher self. There is no need to choose, and you don't need guidance. Who you are is God having the adventure of a lifetime. And you're giving yourself invites to adventures. I'm going to share a very personal story as we keep going. But I really want you to entertain this, because God self, ego self, subconscious, unconscious, all these concepts just give you more stuff to think about that will get in the way. Including this weird thing from The Secret called inspired action. Neville Goddard says, all that you do and all that befalls you comes from your state. So you don't got to wait to try to figure out or have choice. He also says free will ends. You get to choose the state. Well, you don't really get to choose the state. You get to say, you get to accept the desire in its fullness. Right? You can accept or reject any state. But here's the key behind all that. You will accept your wish in its fullness or reject you. Your desires are divine in origin, and what you are is the dance between humanity and divinity. Or is it the other way around? If your awareness of being is God, and you are how God has the adventure of a lifetime, and you are 100% human and 100% divine, you get it? It gets a lot simpler. One more Neville Goddard quote. Your faith in God is measured by your confidence in you. Ready? So Gabe started with, so I want to move away to get my dream job, but I'm so tired of putting conditions on where it is. Can't I just ask my higher self to reveal it to me, and then in the meantime... This is so good, Gabe. I was imagining being home and held. That was it. I didn't feel held, and I didn't feel at home. And I was also imagining business booming. And so I'm drawn to study this fellow named Dan Kennedy. And Dan says do market research. I'm not a fan of working or market research. I'm a fan of helping people. That's just me. So I had a little Facebook group, now actually a Yahoo group and some other stuff going on. And I put up a post saying, hey, how about you give me $97 and I make you a custom recording? We'll email back and forth 3 times. I'll make you a custom recording. I'll keep it anonymized so I can personally resell it. And you'll get what you need. I thought it was brilliant because I'm immediately finding people who believe in what I do, who are willing to pony up a couple bucks, and I get to literally email back and forth with them about all their bullshit so I can help them out of it, right? Thought it was brilliant. So Mikey in Melbourne buys one. He shares it with his friend Leanne, who buys one. She shares it with her sister-in-law, who buys one. A total of about 20 people in Melbourne, Australia, all bought them. I thought, wow, this is great. And then they said, how about if we fly you down and pay you some money and you work with us live? And I thought, that'll be fun. And so, here I am. So I've got 3 imaginings going on back in the backwoods of Pennsylvania. I'm imagining home and held. I'm imagining business booming. And here this crazy group of Forex traders decides to fly me around the world. Let me train them for a weekend, and I'll stick around for 2 weeks because it's a long flight. I want to rest my arms before I start flying home. And I came here and I met her. And she held me. And I found home. That was October 2010. This is why we teach something called howtomanifestlove.com. We made up something called manifestingmasterycourse.com. We keep sharing our adventures because this shit works. Now here's the cool thing. I want you to really notice what I'm sharing here. I had no idea she existed. I had no idea Eltham, Australia existed. I had no idea that mud brick houses existed. But here's what's really, really cool. I met her. Wow, that was fun. I could have rejected that wish and just let, I met someone cool and I'll go back to my shithole. She invited me to her home. Wow, blown away. I had decided to accept the wish in its fullness, even though I had no idea how to move around the world, how to get something beyond a visitor visa, how to get a permanent resident visa, how to get citizenship. I had no idea of all the legal problems that I'd run into with double taxation above a certain dollar figure. If you're a U.S. citizen living overseas, you got to pay money to the U.S. and money to the place where you live, Australia. So in other words, I got to give 30-40% to them, 30-40% to them. So out of every dollar that I make, I'm losing 70 cents. I got to get beyond all that bullshit. I couldn't have seen it coming, and I didn't continue to give it life. In other words, a lot of people are really good at imagining up problems instead of surrendering to possibilities. I surrendered to the possibility of home and held. I surrendered to the possibility of building a business that makes a difference in the world. Because this stuff got me out of PTSD, it got me out of mysterious nerve damage, it got me out of internal bleeding, it got me out of all kind of things. And in the past year, it's had me totally rebuild a hip. I went from being told by 5 experts that I'd have to have a hip replacement to people asking when did I get it done. Pretty damn cool. But I digress. So Gabe, here's the key. Your awareness of being as God, you are how God has the adventure of a lifetime. Your faith in God is measured by your confidence in you. You get to play with some really simple things that will stretch you. Because I had to stretch beyond being who I was. I had to let that guy go. I had to make some investments, take some risks. And what if that's what it's all about? Stretching beyond the comfort of your cage. And being willing to do a dance along the way. Now here's the cool thing. Humans, we want to know. We want to make informed decisions. We want to feel like we're in control. You are human. I get it. You are also God having the adventure of a lifetime. Where you get to dance and discover. And when you can surrender to dance and discover, along the way, you'll figure out what to do. But you won't force a damn thing. And you won't need to. So my name is Mr. 2020. You've been listening to the Power of Imagination podcast. I'm going to invite you right now to imagine up something super yummy and lovely. Imagine something that simply implies a wish fulfilled. When I was stuck in the U.S., because I had to leave for a while, my visa ran out. And then I got detained by immigration when I came back. That was a joy. But what got me through all that, they said, by the way, you got 7 visa violations. I said, wow, can we go through them? And we did. And I explained to them why I thought I was doing the right thing. I didn't argue with them, but I said, look, I'm an ex-cop. This is what I know about law. This is what I know about the word shall. And this is what I know about the word can. And you guys interpret things a little differently here. I get it. And they got that I was sincere. I wasn't trying to break any rules, any laws. And I said, come on in. Do the right thing. And here I am, a citizen now, having done the right thing. Imagine lovingly. So here's one of mine. Ready? I imagine voting. In Australia, citizens must vote, and I'm not a fan of voting, but I'm a fan of being a citizen, so I imagine bitching about voting. Number 2, I imagine one sip of coffee. There's some other stuff, but you notice both those imply something? I'm in Australia, at home, with her. So let's imagine something yummy that implies one of your wishes as we go into the silence. It doesn't take long if you surrender to the experience. If you're trying to make movies, or if you're trying to, I think I can, it takes a while, doesn't it? But if you do what we do, you're going to find surrendering to the experience that implies your experience pretty easy. Or at least not hard. Or at least fun. But I seem to digress. So I've got 3 ideas today for you. Number 1, hey, thanks for sharing the show. Sharing is caring if you got gold. If this gave to you, if it helped you breathe easier, would you deprive another human being of oxygen? Share the show someplace. You never know who you might bless. Number 2, ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. That is the absolute minimum as far as I'm concerned. We designed that over 10 years ago. I can't tell you the thousands and thousands of emails that I got. I just sent out a new one today. I very rarely do that. I've been lazy. But ManifestingMasteryCourse.com is a 90-day program. It takes about 15 minutes a day. It's $97. We even offer a 60-day guarantee. But I tell people, listen, don't take it if you're planning on getting your money back in 60 days, because that means you'll just dick around. I personally believe that $97, 90-day program, that's $1 a day, takes about 15 minutes. I happen to believe that you and your dreams are worth it. And we designed it so that if you actually came here and stayed at our little cottage out back, which is where I'm at now, on a visitor visa, and you stayed here for 90 days, and we shared 1 cup of coffee a day and a chat, that's what we put into that program. Just like sitting with me live every day. Me just telling you, do this, I'll see you tomorrow. Pretty cool. That's ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. And finally, for those of you that have been around a while, why don't you join our little community? JoinRemarkable.com. Right now, we got about 60 or so people in there. I'd like to get it up to 100 or 2. I think that'd be fun. Add in some more goodies. Do more live calls than what we currently are. In other words, you don't got to do it on your own. You can hang out with some cool kids that aren't asking the typical bullshit questions. You can explore with us, because that's what that's all about. Joining a club that explores. That's joinremarkable.com. So that's it today. Have a lovely day. My name is Mr. 2020. I do want to thank you for listening. And go apply wildly. It doesn't matter if you know about this stuff. It matters what you do. Learning is behavior change. Join in the fun. Dive deeper, soar higher. And Gabe, thanks for asking. This is great. It's going to give up to a lot of people. Because you don't got to figure out all that stuff in the middle. Figuring out is fighting against. And as human beings, we will fight against anything and everything. God, I am so over all this election bullshit, too. Just another way to expose humanity. And your divinity, it doesn't fight against anything. It invites. That's it. Dive deeper, soar higher. See ya.